Hi everyone, hope you're doing well and staying safe. I'm just here to give you a few key pointers leading up to the financial management exam. What are the key subject areas that you need to be comfortable with? Obviously, capital budgeting, net present values, and related topics are a core area of the syllabus. That does not mean that you are guaranteed a section C question here. It will get tested in some form or the other in the exam. There's usually a section C question that the examiner puts in, but it's not necessary that it's there in your version of the exam. Everybody gets a different version or a different variant of the financial management exam. The second key topic is sources of finance and cost of capital. With sources of finance, you need to make sure that you're comfortable with section A style questions. That's how the examiner generally likes to test this. With cost of capital, it could be a section C question or it could be a part of a section B question. Also, with business valuations, there is no section C questions here. So you're virtually guaranteed at least a section B question on this. And you may have an extra additional section A question or two also. Working capital management is another core area which can get tested as section C. Again, no guarantees on what you get as a section C question because everybody's exam is different, but make sure you're comfortable with maybe the theoretical elements here in terms of the investing policy, the financing policy, the core areas of inventory management, receivables management, etc. With risk management, again, you're virtually guaranteed another section B question here, and make sure you're comfortable with both the elements of interest rate risk and forex risk. And questions again will have a balanced proportion of theoretical and numerical elements, and make sure that you're able to balance both of these also. With the last two topics in terms of dividend policies and ratio analysis, these don't get tested very often, but when he tests it, there is a possibility that he may test this within section C for a significant number of marks, as in for example between 8 to 10 marks, or sometimes with ratio analysis even more because there are computational and commentary based elements here. And these are, please note, I'm not saying that these are key topics. This is pretty much the entire syllabus, you would have probably realized. So I'm just trying to tell you, do not skip any particular area of the exam. Make sure you're comfortable with all syllabus topics. Everything will be tested in some form or the other. Some topics will be tested for a few more marks, some others for a few slightly lesser marks, but everything will get tested in some form. What are the key things to remember now in the last week and during the actual exam also? Please make sure you're managing your time well, both within the exam and when you're practicing also. So make sure you're timing yourself when you're doing questions to see that you're not overrunning on the allotted time for a particular question. Make sure that you're showing good exam technique in terms of, even if there's a difficult bit in a particular question, you're at least able to get some easy method marks based on that. Again, numerical accuracy is not the most important thing. It's more about the method, the formulas that you use. Just exhibiting that you know the concept that is being tested here can itself get you a significant number of marks, so much so that it can help you pass that part of the question also. Make sure your presentation is quite good in terms of theoretical elements, that you're writing short separate points worth 1 mark each at least, not too short also. And with numerical elements, make sure you're linking your cells correctly, laying out all your workings neatly so that the marker is easily able to follow your thought process over there. Please make sure you're doing the easiest question first, so there will always be some topic that you like within the subject, and that may get tested as a section C question, maybe as a section B question. Either way, spend the first few minutes of your exam just quickly scanning the requirements of the topics in section B and section C, and based on that, please develop a plan of attack in terms of which question you'll do first, second, third, and which question you'll do last also. Make sure you're leaving some time for the question that you're doing last, so that you're at least able to reasonably attempt it, even if you don't like that particular topic. Make sure that you're managing your nervousness, your anxiety. It's normal to be nervous during the exam and towards the exam also, but please make sure that you're managing it to a reasonable level. Again, whatever works for you in terms of listening to music or just doing some exercise or just calm yourself down. There may be all kinds of people around you doing so many different things. Make sure you're in your zone, you're focusing on the exam only. Don't let anything else distract you. The last thing I think is quite obvious. You should make sure that you carry your photo ID with you. Make sure you print out your exam docket. Make sure you're familiar with the location and the timing of the exam. Do not be late for any reason. Make sure that you get there well in advance so that you're able to relax a little bit, chill out once you get to the location. If you get there last minute, you're all stressed and you're directly starting the exam, which is not an ideal scenario. So make sure you do all of these, and I'm sure you'll do reasonably well. Please use these last few days to continue to practice as many questions as you can. And again, don't stress out too much about any particular topic or any particular section within the exam. Just make sure that you're reasonably able to do well overall. I wish you all the best.